This Saturday from noon to 3, Springfield's MassMutual Center will host the Charter Public Schools Showcase. Parents and students can come in and meet representatives of area charter schools. We spoke with Rachel Romano and Bill Spirer, the founders and executive directors of 2 local charter schools, to find out more.
We are just trying to get the word out to all families here in Springfield and the region about what their options are for public schools. You know, a lot of families don't even realize that they have these options and that there are tuition-free, high-quality public schools available to them just by being a resident of Massachusetts. And many of these schools are located right here in Springfield and are a great alternative to some of the Springfield district schools.
Bill Spirer, I don't know if you can stress that enough, because there is constant confusion, it seems, about what it means to be a charter school. I suspect maybe that's why in the very title of the event you say public charter school. People think they're private schools, think they're totally separately funded, think they're a school you... Well, let me let you tell. You must hear all kinds of questions.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, when we're talking to families a lot, there's confusion about it. And just like Rachel said, charter schools are independent public schools, but we're fully public. We serve students with special needs. We serve English language learners. There's no tuition. We don't screen candidates. All it takes is a one-page application. And then there's a lottery in most cases when there's more applicants than there are seats to offer. And what's nice about this event is it's an opportunity for families to come out and get to know all of the charter schools in the region in one place. We'll have all the information there. They can meet administrators and teachers, and in some cases families, and just learn more directly from the schools about the specific programs.
And am I right, there's pretty much always more interest than there is space available? Well, I think statewide there's something like 40,000 people on waiting lists. I bet that's the same story for your schools. Maybe not to that extent.
Yeah, not 40,000, but we have
folks.
hundreds of kids on our waiting list. And yeah, it's always, the lottery is a bittersweet event. It's always tough to see all the little faces who want so badly to go to the school and don't make it in. But there are opportunities for hundreds of kids to attend our schools in Springfield, and so that's the sweet part. And yeah, there'll be 9 charter schools represented at the showcase, so it's a great opportunity for parents to come to, they should bring their things with them. There'll be applications there, and they should bring, proof of where they live, and they should bring a copy of their child's birth certificate so that they can go ahead and do the process of applying right there on site.
I think just one thing to add is that there's some schools serve the elementary grades, some schools serve the middle school grades, and some high school, and some a combination. So this event has schools where families can learn about all of those, that whole range. So it doesn't really matter how old someone's child is. There's options from the full K to 12 spectrum.
Okay. I should probably take a second here and tell the folks at home, full disclosure, I'm not completely unbiased. My son is a teacher at a charter school, and I'm one of the 2 we're represented here today. But he is a charter school teacher. So I hear a lot of the stories, at home around the dinner table, and almost always good, pretty much always good. It's the same thing every teacher says. But let me ask you, what is it that's different? I know there are people saying, I don't have to tell you, the Mass Teachers Association is death on the idea of lifting the cap, allowing more charter schools. They say it's taking limited resources, spreading them farther and thinner every day. What is it that's different? What do you think makes it work? And maybe you can only speak for your own schools, but what is it makes it work?
What makes it work is high autonomy, lots of autonomy. So you can make school-based decisions based on the children who are in front of you. It's the kind of environment where teachers are really empowered to make changes happen, because we can make changes happen, and there's nothing holding us back from doing that. And I love the fact that you can't make any excuses. When you have all that autonomy, there should be nothing that gets in the way of students achieving at high levels. So that's what I love about it. And with all that autonomy, it comes pretty high stakes accountability. Charter schools have to perform. They're granted a charter for a term of 5 years, and if they don't deliver on the promises they made in that charter, and if students aren't achieving at high levels, charter schools can be closed. And I think that's what makes it work, is that kind of do whatever it takes mentality that people bring to their work every day. And the closeness that is created in that kind of environment between school leaders and teachers, and it's a really empowering environment for all stakeholders.
And urban education is, in particular, but education in general, it's a challenging problem. And it's something that we think that charters are uniquely positioned to address, and where this flexibility and autonomy that we have gives us the ability to be creative in how we design our academic program in a way that we think really serves kids well. So just a few examples from Springfield Prep is we have 2 teachers in every classroom, 2 full-time teachers in all of our classrooms, and that enables us to really target our instruction. We have an extended day because all the research shows that the more time kids are in school, if it's focused time and it's well used, the better off they are. So those are just a few things that charters are able to do because of that flexibility that often can't happen as easily in a district school.
So fair to say, you have to do everything the public school has to do and then some if you want to keep going. And you want to keep that charter.
That's right. That's exactly right. We have to do everything the public schools have to do. We just have to do it a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pressure, though, constantly, I would think.
The autonomy, just like Rachel said, comes with a high degree of accountability. It is, and as small organizations, we are wearing a number of hats, and so in a sense, we are superintendents of a very small school district, and we have to do all of the things that a superintendent of a big school district would do. And we think, just like we've been saying, that there's a lot of value in having that autonomy, but that accountability piece is a really serious part of it. And Massachusetts is actually known as being one of the strongest states across the country in terms of the accountability programs in place. So they do not take underperformance in charter schools lightly.
Let me ask you, Bill, let you start here. What misconception or mistaken understanding do you hear about more often than not that just really gets under your skin and says that's not what charter school is? Is there because there's confusion out there.
Sure. I think that sometimes people will say, well, you serve the best kids. And I think that we take, again, and you said it earlier, and I think it's really important that I can only speak for our school.
Sure.
We actually share a location with Rachel's school, so we work pretty closely in a lot of ways. But I can only speak for our school, but we take our outreach to the community very seriously, and our student body reflects the student body, the demographic of the Springfield Public Schools. So again, this idea that we only serve certain kids or easy kids, I think is really false, and I think it's too bad. And we have a number of challenges just like every school, and we work really hard and we try to be creative in our problem solving to address them.
Rachel?
Tough question. I think mine's the funding. I just think that's such an excuse that a lot, people keep in the way, is that we can't do it without the money, or districts are losing funding to charter schools. The funding goes with the children, so if you're not serving the children, then why would you need their funding? And charter schools we have to be really scrappy. We have to find and renovate our own facilities. We have to do all of those things without the support of a municipality or a larger school district, without those economies of scale. So, I hear about the funding and I sort of snicker because if they only knew, what it took to launch a charter school on the state tuition alone for the children.
Well, Rachel Romano, Bill Spirer, thanks for coming in. Thanks for what you're doing for our kids. And again, the event, the Springfield Public Charter Schools Showcase, noon to 3, Saturday the 6th at the MassMutual Center.
Thank you, Jim.